Welcome back to Rev It Up Bowling. My name is Jayson Robarge, and today we're doing some ball comparisons. So what we're gonna be doing is reviewing the new balls from Hammer. So that is the Maximum Effect and the Tour V1. The reason we're doing this is in my brain, when I drilled these balls, I wanted them to be complements of each other. So what we did is laid out London, 44 foot. We just wanted to practice on something a little bit more challenging than house shot. Show a little bit more of the natural characteristics of bowling balls. As we know, the less ratio you have, flatter the pattern, the more the balls want to react like they're naturally supposed to. On house shot, it's built to be easy, and you can get similar shapes out of different bowling balls. So we're gonna be going and comparing these two. Now, the idea I had with these two balls was I have my big asym hybrid, front to back, smooth, used on fresh, heavy volume. Well, as I bowl, there's changes you can make. You can move your feet, change hand positions, or you can change bowling balls. So one of the things I enjoy doing is balling down to a complementary bowling ball. Basically a ball that will react very similar to whatever I've been throwing before, but it can be used on lower volumes. As we know, as we bowl, we're gonna pick up the volume, pick up the oil, move it across the lane, but either way, we are not gonna be adding volume. So the idea here was I can throw this one. If this one starts picking up a little early or whatever the case may be, I can ball down straight to the Tour V1. So we're gonna test that theory today. Again, we're bowling on London. I'm just gonna try to get lined up with the Maximum Effect. On the same line, try to throw the Tour V1, see how close they are. Now, I'm not gonna get true breakdown because it's just me bowling, and I could get true breakdown, but it's gonna take me quite a few games to do it. What I'm hoping for is when I do throw the Tour V1, wiggles, maybe it doesn't hook up quite as much if we haven't quite seen that much breakdown. But either way, I'm hoping they complement each other. So let's start with the Maximum Effect. All right, London, 44 foot. The guidance of 31 says it's around 13 is your break point. So we're gonna just start around second arrow, see how it goes. These lanes do play shorter than what the patterns are, pretty fresh back end. So I'm expecting it to not be a true 44 in that essence, but every bowling alley is a little different. So straight up second arrow. All right, not too bad. I definitely got a little right of second arrow, don't get me wrong, but it's close, definitely close. I could see it be a good ball shape if I slow down some, but let's go ahead and just try to get lined up. For this one, I wanna move left. I actually wanna move closer to that pocket, not get the ball too far right. Center right a little bit. So far, I can tell that this ball wants to be very front to back, which is great. Very much enjoy that. All right, I'm just gonna move back right, pick my eyes in a little bit, get a little bit more squared up. All right, closer, for sure. I'm gonna move left to see if I can play that fallback, that shim a little bit more, keep it a little closer to the pocket, just see what the ball shape looks like. Oh, come back, come back. Oh, close, very close. I missed a little right, so I think we're close. I moved around third arrow, just try to play up the lane a little bit more so I wouldn't have to worry so much about getting that ball to come back. But I tossed it right and almost struck, which isn't a bad sign. Even your bad shots, you can read off of them. All right, much better. Roll out a little bit, adjust the hand position a teensy bit. I'm honestly like so used to house shot the last couple weeks, and every time I throw this ball, I'm just like, oh, that's gonna go through the face. And then it comes up light. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. I might be blowing it through the break point a teensy bit. But yeah, so far, very smooth type shape, very predictable. Definitely not trying to duck hook or anything like that. If anything, I have a little over control, which I'm totally fine with. I'd rather do that than go forward through the face. All right, slow down just a teensy bit. All right, much better. All right, try to get lined in there, throw a couple shots. And then, like I said, I wanna try to go back and forth between the balls, play a little bit different areas of the lane, and just see how they compare. Much better. Keep it a little tighter. It's a long pattern. You don't want to give up the pocket too much. All right, see if we can repeat that one more time, and then I'm going to ball change and just see where the difference lies between them. Nice. Threw that one a little bit further right, but it picked up, so that tells me I'm in the right part of the lane. I have a little bit of room. So we're gonna go ahead and make our ball change. My theory, my hypothesis, this ball is gonna get a little bit too far down lane, or it's gonna spark up quite a bit, just because it's storing a lot more energy, but we're gonna see. If it does strike, I can already see, or I can guess that it's gonna provide a lot more continuation, just because it's not burning up that energy. Try to throw everything same. All right, that one definitely had more continuation. Got down lane a little bit more, stored more energy. If I saw that ball shape, I would go, I need a bigger bowling ball. So we're gonna go ahead and play with it a little bit, see where I want to play with this ball in comparison to the maximum effect. Same shot again. We're just gonna pick up speed a little bit more. Yeah, still a little bit too much continuation in the back end. The ball needs to see a little bit more friction. So we're gonna try to find a little bit. Now, being fresh shot, there's not a ton of friction out here as far as like bounceable friction off, as it breaks down on the right side. The lane's not open, is what I'm saying. We're gonna go ahead and move right. We're gonna play a little bit closer to maybe some type of friction. I'm right on top of the track naturally on these pairs. So I'm gonna try to go up, 12, 13, and that should set me right on top of the track that's burning into the lane. And hopefully it won't overhook. Nope. All right, that ball actually hooked the first time at about 30 feet, checked and got it offline, and then it finished this ball motion. So that's telling me that this ball is seeing friction a little too quickly at the moment. It needs to burn up a teensy bit more, but I don't like a double hook. That tells me I saw friction once, got it offline, then it made it actual ball motion. So we're gonna go ahead and move in and see how that goes. Cross a few boards, burn some energy maybe. All right, so far I move about 4 left compared to that one. This ball naturally likes to create a little bit more left to right shape, so I'm not generally surprised by that. So as I move left, the ball is continuing too much on where I was, so I'm crossing a few more boards and it's finding the pocket, so that's good. Let's try to repeat that. Very nice. Yeah, it looks good. Well, one of the things that gets a lot of people, you're throwing a big old bowling ball like this maximum effect. Why are you further left with a weaker ball? Well, it's all about energy. How does the ball distribute its energy? So when you have a really big high-end ball, that does not mean it will cross more boards. It does not mean it will hook more. It means it's gonna burn its energy up faster. It's gonna throughout the lane. It's gonna be more gradual. Usually that promotes a more front to back type of ball shape. When you have a ball like this right now, where that's storing so much more energy, is making all of its ball motion towards the back end of the lane, meaning it will cross more boards. So does the 2RV1 hook more than the maximum effect? No, the maximum effect just requires more volume than the 2RV1, and it naturally provides a more front to back shape rather than the 2RV1 at the moment providing a more left to right. All right, see if I can repeat that again. If I was in a tournament, I would be picking that maximum effect to start for sure. Oh, got it right. Definitely has some recovery with this ball. I can send it a little bit further right because it's storing up that energy. It's not promoting rollout like the maximum effect is. So we're in a good part of the lane with the 2RV1. So we're gonna go ahead and make our ball change, stay in the same spot, but throw the maximum effect so we can see what the difference is. Yeah, so when we talk about storing energy, a lot of it does have to do with flare. As a ball flares more, it's gonna see more fresh surface of that lane, of the ball on the lane. It's not flaring at the top of itself. What that does is it burns energy because now you have fresh ball touching the lane every time it rotates, for the most part. When you have a ball that has a low diff, the migration of the flare rings won't be as much. If you've gone on like Bowler's Mart or other bowling types like that, what you'll see is it says flare potential, it says 5 to 6 inches. That's just how much it will flare, and it's directly correlated to differential. So when you have a high diff bowling ball, it's gonna want to flare more, meaning it's going to try to burn more energy throughout the lane, whereas a low diff ball will flare over the top of itself, help promote length and store more energy. So it has that energy once it does actually see that friction. All right, let's go ahead and throw this ball, same place as the 2RV1. Got it in a little bit, but that held, that looked good. Bounced off the pins and deflected a little right. That ball had more continuation through the pins, so seeing a little difference there, but in general, they look both pretty good. The maximum effect being a teensy bit smoother. Go ball. Oh, I hit up on a little bit. Wasn't my best shot. Not too bad. Yeah, so far what I'm seeing, I'm gonna throw one right. I wanna see what, because we saw this one recover, I wanna see if the maximum effect does too. And when you guys are trying to figure out your arsenals, this is exactly what you need to do. You need to come down, if it's house shot, fine, sports shot, better, but it can make some balls look terrible as well. But regardless, bring your arsenal out and sort your bowling balls by how much volume they need to make proper ball motion and by how quickly they respond. That'll be able to categorize your bowling balls. That way you can look at them and go, oh, it's not just, my strongest ball, which doesn't always mean my ball that hooks the most, to my weakest ball. So I like to sort more so by the volume it's required and how smooth or sharp it wants to be off friction. Same shot again. Oh wait, no, never mind. I'm setting it right. Just kidding. Oh, too far right. So it doesn't come back on London from 5. So there's that. All right, fun thing real quick, Ace. I'm going to pick up the 5-7. Oh, I'm not gonna pick up the 5-7. All right, we're gonna toss it right again. Just not that far right. Check the recovery on it. Yeah, it's a little slow to recover. I got behind the head pin, a little too slow to respond. I would say in this particular case, I would probably throw in the Tour V1 where I am. I think it gives me a little bit more away, but let me check to see what the shim is like, see how much it wants to hold that friction. Better. I mean, I didn't throw it as in as I wanted. I want it to be a miss in, not just like on target. So we're gonna try that again. Oh, Jesus. So I threw it right and ripped the cover off and it struck, so that's good. The original question I had, is the maximum effect and the Tour V1 complements? Can I go straight down to the Tour V1, but not necessarily move my feet? Basically, as the lane burns up, will I be able to just ball down, stay in the same place, and still get the motion I'm looking for? I do think there's a ball that fits in between these. I think for house shots, stuff like that, you can probably get away with it, but as forward rolling as this one is, and as little as this one flares and stores energy, I think that a ball in between like the Theorem Solid or the Guru Oracle can fit in between them. So we're gonna go ahead and try that. Test my theory. I do think the Tour V1 is a little too continuous to be a direct complement to it. I think that I might need a little bit more flair with this one being a mid-diff asymmetric, basically 04 something, 03 something, 05 something. So let's see what that looks like. Nice. I feel like the maximum effect might have been a little bit earlier, a little bit smoother to make that motion. That ball provided the response time of this one, but it wanted to roll more forward, so it had a little bit less continuation to leave that 4-pin. So let's try that again. I threw it right. Yeah, not as much recovery as a Tour V1. So in between these two. So my hypothesis, I think, is incorrect. I think that, at least what I was trying to do, was complement those two. I do feel like there's a ball that fits in between those. That could be a Theorem Solid, Guru. You could just drill another one of these to be smoother off the spot, or drill another one of these to lower the differential and be a little bit more continuous. But all in all, I think I'd be bringing these three to most tournaments because they do complement each other pretty well. Yeah, that looks nice. So yeah, definitely, I think, definitely a ball that fits in between those. And right now, in my bag would be that Guru. And I'm okay with that. You know, I was supposed to go to a tournament Sunday, I ended up getting still sick, so didn't bowl. But I did have these three balls in my bag. to do what I was hoping to do would be, I didn't know these good enough to just take both of them. I wanted something more familiar, somehow fits between these two. And it makes perfect sense. The drillings are relatively similar. And when you look at the numbers, mid diff, low diff, high diff. So it makes sense. All right, we're gonna go ahead and throw this one more time. Oh, big wheel. All right, wrap 10. It's tough, bad break. We're gonna try that one more time. My goal here is to throw 3 shots, 3 strikes, 3 different balls. So it's gonna be hard, but we're gonna try. All right, there's one. All right, Ace, am I gonna go ball up, ball down? Ball up, all right, maximum effect it is. Definitely wants to roll out a little bit more. I did throw it right, but wants to roll out a little bit more. Nice. All right, that looked better. Definitely slower to respond, a lot less continuous. All right, let's go to our Tour V1. Go. Yeah, baby. All right, so definitely you saw a lot more continuation. So that was the comparison between the maximum effect Tour V1 and the special feature of the Guru Oracle. I wanted to just show you guys what I do when I try to look at bowling balls. I want to look at how they complement each other. Right now, my hypothesis was I can complement this ball with this ball as the lanes start transitioning. But now that I've thrown them a little bit, I think my hypothesis was incorrect, and I do need something a little bit more in between that. If I'm on league shot, I could probably get away with it, but sport shot, stuff that's a little bit more sensitive, I probably want all 3 of these in my bag. So if you guys had any questions about this type of review or this comparison, please let us know. We enjoy doing stuff like this. I want to try to give you guys a different way of thinking about your equipment that's simplified. Bowling balls, bowling has so many different factors to it. It's hard to get everything a little bit simplified. So that's what I'm going for here, is trying to give you guys comparisons, not talk so much about the nerdiness behind it with diffs, RGs, etc. We're just watching ball motion and how the ball is going down the lane. Is it continuous? Does it like to roll forward? Stuff like that. So please remember to smash that like button and hit that sub button. We're on our road to 20,000 subs. We're trying to get there by the end of the year, and with your guys' help, we can definitely do so. So that was the comparison between the Maximum Effect Tour V1 and the special feature of the Guru Oracle. My name is Jayson Robarge. We're Rev It Up Bowling. Much love. Peace.